Well, I'm sure some people are going to look at this game and think, you dirty, whaling, kill-stealing community contributor. You might have gotten a Kraken, but you didn't earn it. Hello, I am Xarkun, and this is World of Warships Legends. Today we are once again in the premium Tier 7 Pan-European destroyer, Friesland, and we will be getting a Kraken, mostly by securing kills. But of course, if somebody were to take this video and share it on a site like Reddit or Facebook, both forums are full of what I like to call the social media warships experts, and they are chock full of bountiful wisdom, some select gems for you. When the Friesland and Lo Yang first started appearing on the high seas, driven by the community contributors of this game, there were some posts that I saw on Facebook of people complaining about whales. Same thing when the CCs were lent the Missouri for 1 week. To you Facebook experts who were complaining about that, I do want you to understand that Wargaming loans us these special campaign ships for 7 days only, takes them away, and then we have to earn them just like you. So, we are not whales. We are simply advanced advertisers, I suppose, who receive a product from Wargaming. We do a video on the product, perhaps we review it, give our audiences an idea of what to expect when the product finally comes to market and people are able to get their hands on it, and then they are armed with more knowledge as they pursue the particular product. The benefit to Wargaming is, of course, that everybody gets to see these products in action, the hype gets up, hopefully it causes more people to get the product, and then we CCs having the product in videos on our channel, well, hopefully we get more views, more subscribers, and all of that kind of thing. It's a mutually beneficial relationship, which doesn't cost us anything because we get lent these ships for free, although if we want to keep them, then of course we have to complete the campaign or gather the steel or whatever it is. And then it, of course, is free to Wargaming because they're only loaning us a digital product for a certain amount of time, and if we want to obtain that product, then ultimately we do have to pay them the Admiralty backing or whatever it is for these campaign ships. So we're not whales, we're just, testers who get stuff in advance to hopefully arm our audiences with a little bit more knowledge. But this is probably too long of an aside, and I digress. The point here is kill stealing. Well, if you've watched my streams for long enough, I've talked about kill stealing a lot. I don't think it is a valid concept, and I always call it, wait for it, kill securing, right? So, say you've got a Bismarck right in front of you like this, and most of the damage has been done to him, but he's pushing into your smoke screen and he's got you sonared. Well, he needs to die, and so he's dead. We do secure the kill on that Bismarck. We've only done almost 30,000 damage, not quite. There's a Yudachi next to us too. One moment while we gun him to death with our rapid firepower guns, he's gonna smoke up, but all the shells are already in the air, so it's too late. He goes down too. So there's 2 kills right next to each other, both on fairly low health targets, both kills secured. Now, people are gonna say that those kills were stolen, and I realize it can be frustrating. If you are in a ship, say a battleship, for example, and you're shooting at a broadside Bismarck, and you take away 75, 80%, 90% of his hit points, and then some other cheeky teammate in a destroyer, or a cruiser, or another battleship swoops in at the last second and picks up the kill when you really, really wanted the kill. Well, that can be frustrating, particularly if you are trying to complete a mission for, say, a campaign that requires you to get a Kraken unleashed. Then, in that case, you would need the kills. But here's the thing. The way that credit is doled out in this game for doing damage and getting kills is roughly as follows. You get credit based on the percentage of an enemy's hit points you remove. That is what factors into your XP and credit earnings at the end of the match, and then if you secure the kill on that enemy, you get a little bonus of XP and credits. Now, if you do almost all of the damage to a particular ship and somebody else comes in and secures the kill, you still get all the credit for doing all the damage you did, and whoever comes in and secures the kill is probably, comparatively, going to receive a lot less credit, a lot less XP for finishing off the ship when they didn't do the most damage to it, right? So you're still going to be rewarded and compensated with things like silver and ship XP and global XP, all that kind of stuff that you earn for just playing the game, right? And then whoever steals the kill, or secures the kill, in fact, is going to receive, less if they didn't, or if they weren't responsible for all of the damage. So, I understand. That can be frustrating. But here's the other aspect to the concept of kill stealing that I don't think people really take into account. And that is that doing damage, just raw damage to the enemy ships and the enemy team is, I'm not going to say it's worthless to the team, but take a look at the points count in the center of the screen. The most important thing on the screen, you might say. Right now, we're at 487 to 375 points. We're winning, right? Well, if I were closer to this Mogami and, say, smoked up, I could shoot at him, and I could do damage to him, and every single point of damage I inflict to this Mogami is going to be useless to my team in the sense that it isn't going to translate to points on the board in the upper center part of the screen, right? The only way to get damage to transfer into points, or to convert damage into points, is to convert that damage into kills. And say if I yoink the kill here on this Mogami and he goes down, well, that means the enemy team loses however many points a cruiser is worth, and we gain however many points a cruiser is worth. So, we've converted damage into points. And in many cases, say, if you've got, for example, two battleships squaring off against each other, they're both maybe not angling as well as they might. The friendly battleship does a crap ton of damage to the enemy battleship, but the enemy battleship is still floating. Well, he's still got time to possibly, potentially, shoot his guns at something else because he's not been sunk. Perhaps those guns, after they're fired, result in a dev strike on your friendly battleship or your cruiser. I don't know. Doesn't matter, but it wouldn't have happened if that battleship had been sunk. So, if you come in there against a low-health battleship and you sink him, there is value in that. Not only does it give your team the points that they might need to win a game, but it also prevents that enemy from continuing to have any influence in the battle. It prevents them from shooting another salvo or launching another set of torpedoes and potentially taking out one of your teammates and scoring points for the enemy team. This is not an individual game, okay? You do not individually win a match when the screen at the end of the game comes up and says victory or defeat. That is, in some sense, your individual victory or your individual defeat, depending on how much you actually contributed to the outcome, right? But also, everybody on your team gets the same result. It is a team game, after all. And sometimes helping out your team means securing kills if they haven't been secured by teammates doing damage to other enemy ships, and sometimes that is very important indeed. Here, though, we've got like a full health Yukikaze, right? And he stands no chance against us. He's going to be able to shoot 2 salvos at us, okay? 2 salvos before we're able to melt him to death and get our Kraken unleashed. So, there's a kill we actually earned. And, you know, we've done a fair amount of damage to destroyers during this game, and also cruisers. So, we are going to finish with a high amount of XP. Not quite as much XP as the Benson on our team over there. He's 5.7 kilometers away from us, a tier lower than us. He's going to actually be on the top of the leaderboard, and he's going to play a very good game by the time all is said and done. Part of the reason he is going to get even more XP than we do is because he's a lower tier ship in a tier 7 game. Probably he did quite a bit of damage to some higher tier ships throughout the course of this, and that of course is going to reward him with more XP. In any case, I digress. The point is, there is no such thing as kill stealing. This is a team effort, and the only thing that is important is winning the game. That is the thing that benefits everybody on the team, more so than even being allowed to secure the kill on a ship that is mostly dead before your teammates chime in and take the kill for themselves, okay? Having a victorious outcome in a game does provide you with a bonus in your earnings and all that kind of thing. You want the wins, and so it really shouldn't matter to you that much unless maybe you've been hunting a Kraken for a mission. If somebody comes in and steals the kills, or secures the kills, as I like to say, I think that is the proper way of looking at it. So, if you find yourself in a situation where you're frustrated at one of your teammates for stealing a kill, don't message them on the PlayStation Network or the Xbox platform, whatever it's called. Don't message them and complain to them that they stole your kill, especially if you win the game. Be content with the fact that you won. That should be the reason you go out into games. Aside from having fun, the reason you play this is to win the games, right? So, that is my thoughts on kill stealing versus kill securing. You can let me know what you think about those thoughts in the comments below. And also, here's a challenge to you. 55,000, 70 damage, 5 kills, Kraken in the Tier 7 Premium Pan-European Destroyer Friesland. Can somebody out there get a lower amount of damage in this ship and get a Kraken? That is your challenge. I want to see if it can be done, because let's make no bones about this. This is a very low damage Kraken indeed, although it is going to be a very high XP game. And by the way, speaking of winning games, there's a single Tashkent out there, right? And there is me and a Benson left. Both of us are on fairly low health. The Tashkent also is on fairly low health, but the Tashkent has an advantage over us. Both the Benson and I have very, very floaty, low shell velocity guns that are difficult to aim and land shots on small targets over long distances. Tashkent, on the other hand, his guns are very easy to aim at distance, and it's very easy for him to land shots. So if we pick a fight with him, he has, every advantage and every opportunity to win that fight, so long as he maintains a proper distance. But, of course, we're ahead on points, and we're ahead on caps. So there is no reason whatsoever to pick the fight with the Tashkent. This is something that you have to keep in mind when you're playing these games as well. If you're in a situation where you have, 200 points more than the enemy team, and you hold the majority of caps, well, the enemy team isn't going to be able to win the game just by capping. They're going to have to kill you in that situation, and you can't let them do it. So, oftentimes, it's better to disengage and run away. People might complain about that too. The social media expert types say, "Oh, you cowardly destroyers, running away, come out, fight me like a man." No. This is not a cowardly action. This is the thinking man's action in the thinking man's action game, as they say, right? So we've run away from the Tashkent. The time is ticking down to 0, and we are going to win this game with 55,000 damage done and a Kraken unleashed. Pretty much all of our kills being kill secures. And now that you have listened to my discussion on this topic, and you know my philosophy on kill stealing versus kill securing, let me know what you think of this philosophy in the comments section below. Am I wrong? Are you perhaps a little irritated about this particular point of view? Or do you agree with me? I'm curious to know what you guys think. I think most of you are probably going to agree with me. If so, give the video a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and I will, of course, see you next time. Goodbye.